that spent a lot of time putting this together. But you know, as retirees, everything don't always go just as planned. So if you see something in the agenda, you say, well, Robert did this, but we were supposed to do that. That's not a mistake. That's just a change. Y'all got it? All right. The first order of business is adoption of the credentials report and adoption of the convention standing rules and adoption of the agenda. First of all, we have 168 delegates duly registered. There are more to come. I move for adoption of the Credentials Committee. Do I hear a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed with nay. The ayes have it and so adopted. The adoption of the convention standing rules are on the booklet pages 2 and 5. I move for adoption. Is there a second? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed with nay. The ayes have it and is so ordered. Adoption of the agenda. The proposed agenda is printed on pages 20 to 22 of the convention booklet. I move for adoption. Is there a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed with nay. The ayes have it and so approved. We have to make several appointments. I've made several appointments. The following appointment for parliamentarian, William C., former national board member. Where's William at? On the right. Chief Sergeant at Arms Scott Kessner, Alliance Director of Development. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. So, you know, don't mess with him, all right? For elections, Doug Hart. He's the president of the Alliance. And for the resolution committee, my brother from New York, Barry Kaufman, who's the president of the Alliance in New York. Well, first of all, let me say, I'm going to have some remarks for you after we get through introducing some people. But I want to say that on behalf of my brother, Joe Peters, who cannot be here, that we are proud, we are honored, and we are privileged. We are proud to be the officers of the Alliance Retired Americans. We are honored that you bestowed upon us such a great honor to be here, to work with you, and to work with our great staff at the national office and do all that good work. And we are privileged to work with such great people at the national headquarters who do all the work that has to be done, who struggle hard, who interact with you, some of them on a daily basis, and many of them could leave the Alliance and go someplace else and be compensated better, but they're in it for the struggle. So I'd like to introduce these people in alphabetical order. I'm not going to introduce Rich because we'll do that later, so don't think I'm slighting the brother. We have David Blank. He's a Deputy Director of Communications. Please come up. Come up. Michelle Campbell, Support Administrator, Field Mobilization. Lisa Cutler, Director of Communications and Digital Resources, Digital Strategies. Eva Dominguez, Legislative Representative. Maureen Dunn, Field Manager. Rebecca Helmick, I may be saying that wrong, but get in trouble, Digital Communications Specialist. Juan Johnson, Director of Information Technology. Joni Jones, Senior Field Support Administrator, Special Events Coordinator, VO Mobilization. Joni, where are you? You got a lot of work. I don't think Ann Lamb is here, but she is our senior accountant. And Susan Peeler is our Director of Finance Administration. Robert Remy is not here. He is our Senior Associate of Development. And we have Executive Assistant and Notary Public, Renee Vicks. Is somebody on this call? There's like these people here.
Kim, Scott.
I got Scott.
Scott Kessner.
And what's Terry's last name?
Brendan. Terry. What's Terry's last name?
Kim, Scott.
Terry's last name.
Sure.
Brady. Terry Brady. Kim.
Kim.
Adula.
Okay, Kim Adula. Member Services and Membership Development. I got Scott. I called Scott's name. He didn't come up.
Brendan.
Brendan Kelly, Director, Field Mobilization.
We got our field staff.
Okay.
Terry.
Terry, what's the last name? Terry from ASME, come on up here. Terry Brady. Come on up here, sister. She always helping out. She's always here.
Heather,
Who's this lady?
Heather McLaughlin.
And Heather McLaughlin. She's the North Carolina field organizer.
Judy Bryant.
Judy Bryant. Judy Bryant.
Judy Bryant. Texas field organizer. Is that it? You want more people?
What's one you got, Nino?
Come on up.
I feel sad.
Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. All of you, come on up.
Circle.
Who's the new people?
Come on, back up. Come over here. Y'all come over here. These are all good volunteers. Tell them who you are.
I'm Jean Cameron, the director of the Illinois Alliance for Retired Americans.
Vishnu with CARA, California Alliance for Retired Americans.
Louis Gosselin, downstate organizer in Illinois.
Hello. Hi, I'm Tori,
I'm Kathy.
and we're from
Arizona!
I hope that's everybody, but these are the people that did all the work and do the work at national headquarters and people who volunteer to get this done. I want to say on behalf of the Alliance for Retired Americans, all our state affiliates and the officers, thank you very much and God bless you.
This guy is sitting up is Steve Maddarts. He's the New York executive director. He's sitting up
Where's Steve?
from New York.
From New York.
There he is.
What are you hiring for? I don't want to mispronounce your name. Steve is the executive director of New York Alliance for Retired Americans. Stand up, Steve. Okay, let's move this process. We got through that, didn't we? Rusty McAllister is not going to be here till tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to have Joetta. Joetta is the executive president of the Alliance, Joetta Brown. She retired from a successful career in the banking industry where she was an activist fighting for equal pay for women. As a community leader, Joetta has become an expert on urban development and community planning. Most recently, Joetta worked to determine age standards for seniors, resulted in the first affordable housing project for seniors during her tenure as a planning commissioner in Douglas County, Nevada. Joanne remains committed to improving the quality of life for girls, women, and seniors in our community. Her leadership and talents and compassion have a great asset for the Alliance. Please welcome Joetta Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone. And you know the wonderful thing about winning anything is that you can keep clapping and celebrating. And I did that on election night when I knew that we had won. And so one more time, let's give ourselves a big hand because you deserved it. You made it happen. Seniors are the ones that get out the vote. We vote when other people say, you know, I don't want to vote. And we made a difference, but we cannot rest on our laurels. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid will be under attack. And we have to keep talking about the benefits of those programs, that they are not entitlements. I hate that word. And I think the best people to do that is the Alliance for Retired Americans across this country. So, yes. I've done a lot of walking since I've been here. Oh my goodness. This is a big hotel. So that's what we'll probably begin doing again, is getting the word out about that. This morning we had a canned breakfast, and we're going to have our elections this afternoon or this evening for the CAN Executive Board. And CAN means Community Advocacy Network. Some of the officers that are going to run or the candidates are in this room. I'd like them to stand if they can and give them applause for the work that they do as well. Yay. Okay, so Tom Byrd mentioned that we have a Democratic candidate, governor, he could get me if he wanted to, Steve Sisolak, and we are very proud of that. And so many other constitutional officers elected here in the state of Nevada. I don't know if I welcomed you. You'll find it very nice in Las Vegas. There's a lot of enticement around you. I would like you to take your nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars, and place them in something that looks like a machine with the hopes of being a millionaire when you leave here, because it would help our income in the state of Nevada. And we would appreciate that very much. And I think that's all I want to say to you. When I look out at you, I see many people I've known for years. I see a lot of people missing. I know a lot of people are ill. And I know that I have worked together with a lot of people that dedicated their lives to truly making a difference for others. And that is why I believe in the Alliance for Retired Americans. We don't sell products, we walk the halls, just like those that are around here, and we do those special things for seniors, for ourselves, for the future, for our grandchildren, for everyone in this country and in this world. I thank you again, and celebrate.
Well, brothers and sisters, let me say a few words. First of all, let me thank each and every one of you for the work that you do, the successes that we've had in this election cycle, and for the work that you will continue to do in the future as we approach 2020, and we have a lot of work to do. We don't have time to sit back and just say, we can say, as Etta said, we can celebrate, but now it's time to go back to work. There used to be a time, I used to be an airline worker, and there used to be a time when I used to come to Las Vegas. We used to come to Las Vegas because we could kind of do things we couldn't do at home. We kind of hang out. We're kind of like in the Twilight Zone, you know what I'm talking about? And now every day in America that we wake up and turn on a television set, we are in the Twilight Zone. We're in another world. Lies, deception, confusion, women being disrespected on national television, people being hit and touched and fighting and carrying on. This is not the America that we love. And this is not the America that all of you have strived to be and the things that you have done. You don't get recognition for the work that you do and the power that you have through networking, through communicating with each other, drawing alliances, building with other people, and working for a brighter future for ourselves and our children. Now, I may get in trouble for what I'm about to say, but I want you to know this. I love all of y'all. I used to ask my mother. I said, she had 3 children. I used to go to her and I said, Mom, who do you love the best? And she said, son, I love all of you equally. And then she gave me the wink. You know what I'm talking about? I want to bring something to your attention. Not that I'm focusing on one particular group, but I want to bring something to your attention to show you that you don't get the recognition that you deserve. In September of 2017, I was privileged to be in Arizona at their convention. And at that convention, the president, Doug Hart, and some people, at the convention, some young people and some older people, they said, we're going to see some Republicans. And I said, whoa, we're going to see some Republicans. I didn't know we did that. But I was thinking back when my friend Tony Padilla told me years ago, when he was taking me through the Capitol, he said, we got to talk to these different people. And I said, well, why are we talking to those people? He said, brother, it's not our job to come up here and make friends with Democrats. It's our job to come up here and get things done. And that's what they did in Arizona on this particular visit. They went down, went to Senator McCain's office and thanked him because they had been working with Senator McCain people to get his vote, which he voted no on repeal. And then we went to Senator Flake's office and met with his staff, and they've been working with Senator Flake. And they told him a lot of things that wasn't very, nice about what he was doing, voting to go along and get along, and they explained a lot of things. They had signs, and they gave him a plaque with all these different words on it. 3 weeks later, Senator Flake indicated he was going to resign from the Senate at the end of his term and started talking about why. He started talking about values and people and all these different things. And I was sitting there thinking, that's what the Alliance told Senator Flake 3 weeks ago. It was the Arizona Alliance doing the work that many of you do all the time and meeting with people and explaining your positions. And you do it civilly. And we do it respectfully. But you don't get that recognition. So I wanted to point that out to you because I see your newsletters, I meet with you, I talk, and I know you're doing the same work that they're doing. So what happened was, I guess 3-4 weeks ago, Senator Flake was in an elevator. And 2 women screamed at him, and the whole world said, oh, 2 women screamed at Senator Flake, and he changes, That's not true. The candle was lit by the Arizona Alliance for Retired Americans. They did the work. And we must continue to do that work, as all of you have done. We must continue to be out there building alliances, working with people. I want to take you back to a little history. I'll give you a little history lesson. I think it was August 28, 1963. There was a march on Washington. And in that march, some people call it the Civil Rights March. Some people call it the March on Washington. The official title, I understand, was Jobs and Freedom. And it was a whole group of people that got together. It was labor. Walter Reuther was there and spoke. The UAW, president of UAW at the time. The Jewish community was there. The Cathedral of Churches were there. Women were there. Gay people were there, but they had to be hidden because of society at that time. But the leader of the march was Baynard Rustin, who was a gay man. And in 1963, we always look at that wonderful speech that Reverend King gave. It was a beautiful speech. And we really don't focus on those other things that happened that day. It was a beautiful speech, but he spoke about all. He spoke about all of us getting to the mountaintop. Jews and Gentiles, black men, white men, everybody coming together and getting to the mountaintop, which is the American dream. We all strive for the American dream. And in 1963, they were fighting they had a $1 minimum wage, federal minimum wage. I think Walter Reuther spoke about economic equality and moving the minimum wage to $2. Because if there can be no social justice or social freedom without economic justice and economic freedom. And then we moved on, and the minimum wage got raised a little bit the next month to $1.10 or $1.15. And the progressive went up to $1.60, $1.65, which was the highest rate, 1968, that gave us, the working people, the biggest buying power, purchasing power in the history of the nation, working together. The women's movement became more prevalent in the 60s. That's when the women got that spark, and they were out there, and there was a real women's movement in the 60s. We got the civil rights legislation, the voting rights legislation, and we got Medicare in 1965. And that is because, brothers and sisters, that is because we came together, and we were working together. We wasn't doing like a lot of people want us to look at each other. What's he doing? What's she doing? Why is she getting this? And all this kind of stuff, and all this lying and deceit's going on. When we come together as Americans, we prosper. When we come together as Americans, we succeed. When we join with alliances and bring other people in, we succeed as a country, as a community, and as a country. And we must continue to do that. We must continue to bring people in. We got to bring the young people in. I've been talking to a lot of young people. I was in the thick of the fight for many years. I just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. This fight coming. And then when I stepped back and retired, so listening. I said, well, I really don't understand what they're saying. I don't understand that language. So I had to sit down and understand their language. And I found out that the young people have the same goals and admirations as we did in the 60s. They may say it is something different, but it's the same fight. And we must bring them into the fold because, we ain't gonna be pushing that wall too much longer, you know what I mean? Another 10 or 15 years, we gotta get the young people in to protect Social Security, to protect Medicare, to make sure we have home caregivers. That's the next big fight. I know some of you have been fighting that fight. 37% of home caregivers are children taking care of their parents, which means that they cannot prosper because they're not living up to their potential, and therefore, that creates a whole generation, a whole lost generation. We must fight for that. We know that you are fighting for it. People will say in government that we're fighting for it, but you can't say you're fighting to protect home caregivers when you try to destroy ASME through the Janus legislation, through the status law. You can't say you're trying to protect Medicare when you're they're treating all these people, 90-year-old people, who come back talking about entitlement reform. Simpson's about 90 years old. We're talking about entitlement reform. He's been collecting a lot of Social Security checks. He's been on Medicare a long time. The fight is coming. We got to bring the young people in. We got to listen to them. Because it's the same thing we're talking about. They want to live a better life. They want the American dream as we wanted the American dream. And we have to help them help us. Build that alliance that we had in 1963 and move the movement forward. We are in a movement. They talk about building a wall on the southern border. There already is a wall. There's a wall between those of us that work and those of us that take. And on this side of the wall is all of you and the young people and your leaders and our leaders that think of us. All these people, women, gay and lesbian people, we're all on the side of the wall pushing. And if we don't have those young people helping us push that wall, the takers are just going to take. So I want to let you know that this alliance is doing so much work as I go out and see you people. You always got some younger people with them, training and mentoring them, bringing them along, showing them the right way to do things, as we did in 1963. Because I can't take much more of it. You turn on cable TV, it doesn't make any difference which channel you turn on. It's always about one person, and what that one person is doing, I'm at a loss. I'm looking for the search for the truth is what we're supposed to get. We're not getting the search for the truth. You see, cable television, whether you want to know it or not, I don't care what channel, they're run by big business. Their job is not to search for the truth. Their job is to make profits for the major corporations, the billionaires and the millionaires in this country. So they're not bringing you the truth. So we have to search, and we have to bring that history back to our young people and let them know this is what we went through. This is where we're going. That we live in the greatest country in the world, and we got to keep it great. We elected a president of the United States on a slogan. Think about that. A slogan, make America great again. America has always been great. On a slogan. So I say to you, brothers and sisters, we got a lot of slogans around. I'm tired of listening to slogans. I want solutions. And we have to speak truth to power. When you go up to see your senators, your state senators, or your congressional leaders, or whoever you see, speak truth. Tell them the truth. Tell them that slogans is not going to get it. Tell them, yeah, all this for everybody. We want to know the strategy to get there. That's what the young people are telling me. They say, brother, all that sounds good, but how do we get there? Some of them told me the other day, said, just give us the money. We'll figure out what to do with it. All right? So we got to get this group together. We got to bring people together. We got to get this work done, and we can do it. We have done it before. We did it in the 60s and the 70s. We did it after 9/11. We did it after the Great Depression, the Great Recession. We know how to do this work. We know how to bounce back. And we know how to vote. And that's the most important. We got to get people out to vote. And we got to find we got to search for the truth. bring that to the people who are supposed to be representing us in Congress and speak truth to power and tell them this is no longer acceptable. But we have to do it civilly. I don't want you going on an elevator screaming at people. I don't want you jumping up on somebody's car. I want you to be civil, like you've been doing. You know, there was a time in this country that when you had a dispute, a political dispute, you went and got some guns and then you backed off and turned around and had a duel. We don't do that anymore, brothers and sisters. There's no more duels. We can talk to each other because we are not armed with guns. We're armed with our intelligence, our experience, and our wisdom. And we know how to speak truth to power. Every state in the alliance has spoken truth to power. Have done it. And I'm very proud to be your president. And so is Joe Peters to be the Secretary of Treasury. He can't be here today, but he's with us in spirit. So I want to say to you, I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I want to say to you, I want to tell you a poem, a sentence out of a poem written by a poet named Lucenzo Credenzo. Maybe I'm not saying that right, but he said this. We are all angels with only one wing, and we can only fly if we embrace one another. And let me add, it'll be those young people that'll be the wind beneath our wings. God bless you all. Thank you for coming. Let's have a good conference.